the book of the prophet Isaiah. So this is a little different than these past couple of chapters. We've been reading the Psalms and Proverbs and Job, because this is more historical. This is more like Nehemiah. Because it's historical, I took a second and went back to see who this King Uzziah is, because they've already mentioned him in the first chapter. And I see they're mentioning him again in the very first line of 6. So I looked it up, and there's a issue right off the bat, because in 1 Chronicles 6:24 it says he's the son of Uriel. And then it says he's the son of Amaziah in 2 Chronicles 26:1. Regardless, he's the king of Judah. He has a son, Jotham, who is a good king, doing what is right in the sight of the Lord, which we only heard maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 or something, out of maybe like the 15 or 16 kings. Another son, Jehonathan, who lived in castles, and they mention in 1 Chronicle 27:25. He began reigning when he was 16. He reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. The end of him, even though he did which was right in the sight of the Lord, he burned incense to the Lord at the sanctuary, which he was not supposed to do. They told him to get out. The sons of Aaron, the Levites, they're like, you need to get out of here. He didn't, and he instantly became leprous. So this is who we're talking about. Chapter 6, in the year that King Uzziah died. So, okay, we know whose sons are, a couple of them. And they said he was leprous until he died. It never got taken away. Okay, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. Don't we hear something like this in the book of Revelation? Well, we got a little bit of history, because every word here might be extremely important. See how he's just coming out of nowhere talking about angels now? Like out of nowhere, right? So I'm going to see. I think it relates to Revelation, because I've heard this before. A live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. It sounds familiar. It might just be this I heard before. As he laid it upon my mouth, yeah, I think this is just it, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord, saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Wow. He's telling me to go bring him delusion, sounds like, right? Then said I, Lord, how long? And he said, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate. And the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. But yet in it shall be a tenth, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a teil tree. Teil. I don't know what that is. And as an oak, whose substance is in them, when they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof. Okay, who knows what that means? But it sounds like there's a tenth of something. That might be something. Okay. That was short, chapter 7. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham. Okay, we got a little history on him in the beginning. This Jotham was a good king, did what was right. Okay, he didn't probably burn incense like his father Uzziah did at the last minute, unfortunately. Okay. The son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up toward Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. So all those things I talked about in Chronicles 1 and 2, they talk about these people too. The Syrian king and the Israel king, who probably joined forces to go against Judah. So they tried probably together, and they could not prevail. And it was told the house of David, saying, Syria is confederate with Ephraim, and his heart was moved. So that's not good. There it is right there. So Uzziah, now his son Jotham, right? Now he's the king, and he's in the house of David, and he was told that Syria is teamed up with Ephraim, which is a brother tribe, but which is just considered Israel at this point, not Judah, because they've just broken off. And now his own people are warring against him with Syria. And his heart was moved, and the heart of his people as the trees of the wood are moved with the wind. Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, oh, so Isaiah was around at this time. This is what Isaiah is talking about. During this time, he's alive. Okay. So when Jotham, when Syria and Ephraim went against Jotham, this is when Isaiah is alive. Go forth now to meet Ahaz. Oh, that guy. Wait a minute. Is that a good guy or a bad guy? And shear Jashub, thy son, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. And say unto him, take heed and be quiet. Fear not, neither be faint-hearted for the next 2 tails. Is it tails? For the next 2 tails of these smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of Rezin with Syria and the son of Remaliah. So Rezin is the king, and the son of Remaliah is the Ephraimite, I guess. Oh no, it's somebody else. It's a whole nother person because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against thee, saying, let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabeel. Okay, Syria. No, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel. So Remaliah is Israel. Oh, they got everybody against him. I don't know what part it is. It's just the king of Israel. So he's got Ephraim and the king of Israel and Syria. There's three. Let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabeel. Thus saith the Lord, it shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. Okay. And within 65 years shall Ephraim be broken. So within 65 years there will be Ephraim, that it not be a people. Wow. Wow. And the head of Ephraim. So this, you know who this is? This is Isaiah going to Jotham when he's just found out everybody's against him. Syria, Israel, and Ephraim all ganged up. So this is what Isaiah is telling him. He's like, don't even trip. Look, he's like, thus saith the Lord, it shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. Like, it's not even going to happen. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. And with 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria. And the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If ye will not believe, surely ye shall not be established. Moreover, the Lord spake again unto Ahaz, saying, I guess Ahaz is a good guy. Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt out the Lord. And he said, hear ye now, house of David. Is it a small thing for you to weary men? But will ye weary my God also? Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Wow. No, that's foreshadowing. Okay? That can't be any more clear. This isn't the Old Testament. This is hundreds of years before Jesus was born. Hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. You see that? He's talking to Ahaz. He's talking to the house of David. So Ahaz, we got to figure out who he is. He's somebody good. But you know who's not good is Ahab. Oh my goodness. That guy. He's married to Jezebel and their daughter Athaliah, who's like worse than Jezebel. Like, if that's possible. So, did you all... Wow. So this is... It's not a foreshadowing. He's saying what's going to happen. Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. For behold, the child shall know to refuse the evil and choose the good. The land that thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of both her kings. The Lord shall bring... Well, they're including Ephraim with Israel, I guess. They're just Ephraim's considered under Israel. But maybe they just didn't care anymore, and they were just broke off. But now, he's saying it's 2, but it seemed to me to be 3. Rezin, the king of Syria, Pekah, the son of Remaliah, the king of Israel. Maybe it's just 2. Oh, and Ephraim. It's kind of 2 or 3. Ephraim's considered Israel. For before the child shall know to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land that thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of both her kings. So they'll be gone. The Lord shall bring upon thee and upon thy people and upon thy father's house days that have not come, from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. And it shall come to pass in that day. See, I wish I remembered, because I was all into that. I wish I knew exactly what he's talking about right here, but I can look that back up. But there's a lot of history right here. This is a particular time, so it can be plotted out. It really can. You know what? That stupid AI, why don't they use that for this? I'm just saying, it would really help. What else is it good for? It will show everything is in exact times, and they should plot it out. I might do that when I'm done, but I have to just keep going. Okay. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall hiss for the fly that is in the uttermost part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. I kind of want to know what that means. Talking about bees and flies. For some reason. Bees in Assyria and flies in Egypt. Okay, and they shall come and shall rest, all of them, in the desolate valleys and in the holes of the rocks and upon all thorns and upon all bushes. In the same day shall the Lord shave with a razor that is hired, namely by them beyond the river, by the king of Assyria, the head and the hair of the feet, and it shall also consume the beard. And it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish with a young cow and 2 sheep, and it shall come to pass for the abundance of milk that he shall eat butter, for butter and honey shall everyone eat that is left in the land. And it shall come to pass in that day that every place shall be where there were 1,000 vines, at 1,000 silverlings. It shall even be for briars and thorns. With arrows and with bows shall men come thither, because all the land shall become briars and thorns. And on all hills that shall be digged with the mattock, what's that, a shovel? There shall not come thither the fear of briars and thorns, but it shall be for the sending forth of oxen and for the treading of lesser cattle. So he's talking to the house of David, the Lord. He's telling him what he's going to do. He's telling him he's going to send his son. And he's telling him that everything is, you're going to be eating butter and honey, and there's going to be all kind of cattle there. yeah, we kind of have to go back for this because it deserves it, because this is not just like reading these proverbs and things that have no relation really to anything else. These have complete relation. When you look up Uzziah in Blue Letter Bible, there's about 10 maybe different chapters that he has written about. So we have to definitely go back to understand a little better who he's talking about and what time they're in. Specifically.